Hi, it's Dr. Christy Ennis. Welcome to Follow Me Friday, where motion is lotion. Now, most workouts tend to make chronic pain worse, but today's workout is not only going to make you feel better, but also stronger. We're going to start with a warm-up, go into some cardio, and then get into some strength. You will need a chair, and you will need some light weights as long as your body feels okay with that. So let's get started with a little warm-up. You're going to march and bring those arms up and around. So we're getting some blood flow and some circulation going. Alternating sides actually makes a big difference when you do have chronic pain. It feels better to let one side rest even when it's just a little bit. And we're only going to do a few repetitions of each exercise here, because that usually, again, feels better on the body than doing lots and lots and lots of repetitions. And so moving on, we're going to stand nice and still, and we're going to bend and bring one arm down as this other one raises, and actually try to bend that ear towards the shoulder too. Now remember, you are always needing and wanting to listen to your body. So if that means today you can only move this much, then that's how far you move. You're still doing something. And actually, quite frankly, more than a lot of people would do, even those people that don't have pain. So give yourself a little pat on the back today. And again, tomorrow might be different. Make sure you keep a little soft bend in those knees. And even if it's just, you need to keep your head straight today. My neck often bothers me. That's okay too. And we're going to do one more to the other side. Good. Now, if you need your chair to hang on to, you can. I'm going to try to balance today. We're just going to do some nice little leg swings. And again, sometimes this is too much for that standing leg, so it makes a big difference to hang on to something if you need to. So just a few here, and then switch to the other side. Ooh, snap, crackle, pop. Just like a bowl of Rice Krispies. Kind of everywhere. For me, that actually feels good. You guys pay attention. If you get a snap, crackle, pop and it hurts, then you do need to back off. All right, let everything kind of loosen up and shake it out. And you're just gonna let your body go. I know I have my eyes closed because I'm really kind of tuning into what my body feels like as I'm moving. And I'm kind of like wet spaghetti here. I feel like that's almost like a Dirty Dancing line. Do one more. Okay. Moving on to a little bit of cardio. We're going to do a little step touch and add that row. Touch and row and row. Again, you do what you need to for your body. I'm squeezing my shoulder blades as we're working on that posture too. If it starts to feel like you get too tired, you just take a little break. Put those arms down. Not a problem. Even if it means you just need to stand like this for a little bit, that's okay. Try to keep moving if you can, but you don't have to make the motion as big. We're going to keep it going just a little bit longer. Don't forget the breathing. That's important. Good, and then we're switching it up to a march, and this time we're adding some nice big arm movements too. Remember, if you can only do little motion, that's okay. If your hips are bothering you, your arms are bothering you, doesn't matter. Again, it does matter. I don't mean that. Of course it matters. But it doesn't matter if you need to change what you're doing. That's, again, the important thing is try to just keep moving a little bit, even if it means smaller motion or taking out a whole component of that exercise. Here we go. We're going to tap that heel forward and add a little curl in with those arms. So starting to warm up all of those muscles, getting a little bit of strength here, but again, really trying to keep that heart rate up a little bit. Keep it going. Again, if you need to slow down, totally fine to slow down your pace. You guys know what the move looks like now. Go at your own speed and your own comfort. Stop at any time, and we're moving on to the next one. You're going to put one leg forward a little bit. We're going to bring those arms up. We're not going to add any jumping. We're just going to kind of shift that weight back and forth. So up onto the heel, up onto the ball of the foot, back and forth. If you want to add a little jump, you certainly can. Oftentimes, though, that doesn't feel so great. But again, now we're working all the way down into those feet too. And we're going to switch sides. If you want to put your arms down, you can too. Just feels funny to me. And switch it up. Other side. So really try to get as much motion as you can, but it's just this little bit of a rock, right? So we're weight shifting, but I'm moving those heels, moving those toes. Well, and almost falling over. Keeping your eyes fixed on a stable point in front of you does help with your balance. Almost there. Good. Okay. You're going to tap that toe out to the side, add a punch in front. Now, oftentimes, if you do have pain in your arm, it feels much better not to punch all the way straight. So notice I'm leaving a little bend in my elbow, and I'm not making a tight fist to really help my hands feel better and relax. I tend to have pain in lots and lots of places, and so I'm always mindful of that. Some days I can squeeze a little harder, and some days not. Here we go. Couple more. And then we're going to grab our chair and our dumbbells. Hang in there. One more on the other side. Nice job. Let's grab our other side. All right, you're going to sit in your chair. Yay, we get to sit, but we're not done working. You're going to get to the edge of that chair. You can use your hands if you need to, either on the chair or on your lap, and you're going to press and just stand right on up. Now, the higher this chair is, the easier this will be. And the same thing holds true when you go to sit down. If you need to use your hands, you can. We're just going to do 5 of these. These are actually great to do anytime during the day if you get the chance. Because we all have to sit up or sit down and stand up. One more to go, and then we're actually going to go over to the wall. You're going to get next to something that is nice and sturdy. Bring those hands about chest width apart and about shoulder height, and we're going to go right into a push-up. So generally speaking, the push-ups on the wall feel pretty darn good on the joints. If you're starting to get a little sore, don't go in quite as far. You'll still work that chest and those triceps and those shoulders. And again, we're just going to do 5 of these. So one more, and then we're going back towards our chair. Using that chair for balance, shift just a little bit over to the side, and then we're bringing that opposite leg out to the side, toes pointing forward, soft bend in that standing knee. Really make sure you keep this leg directly out to the side, or even a little bit back so that you don't start to use those hip flexors. One more on this side, then we're going to switch sides. I'm just not going to use the chair for this one. Out to the side for 5. There's 1, 2. If this feels really good, you can feel free to go through a second time too. You don't just have to stay with that 5 repetitions. 5 repetitions, 1 more. And then we're going into a calf raise before we sit down. So I'm just going to face that chair, coming up onto those toes. Again, just going up as high as you can. And again, that may change day to day. 5 of these, and then we're sitting down. There's 3, 4, and 1 more is 5, and we're going to have a seat. Alternating bicep curls. So we're going to about a 90-degree angle and then trying to get all the way straight. Again, if it bothers that elbow for any reason, don't make it all the way straight. That's okay if it doesn't go in that direction. If this palm position up is too much, you can go ahead and turn. That might be a little bit better on the wrists. And we're going to do 1 more on each side and switch to triceps. Go, good. Okay, so for triceps, you're going to get a little closer to the edge of that chair. Keep a flat back, but shift those hips back. Bring those elbows up, and then it's extend one arm and extend the other. Remember, if you're just starting out, it is totally okay, or even if you're not just starting out, it is okay not to use weight. Sometimes gripping onto things doesn't feel good. As long as you can at least get that motion, you're getting, again, that blood flow, and you are working those muscles. So we've got 1 more on each side, and then 1 more abdominal exercise to do, and we will have done it. So I'm going to put those down. We're going to go opposite elbow, opposite knee. You can lean back as much as you feel comfortable to feel those abs engage, but make sure you don't feel your back working. And again, you may only be a little bit of a lift, totally fine, depending on how your body feels. Awesome. We're going to do 2 more on each side, and then we're done. We're going to do a couple stretches. Nice. Good. Okay. 1 stretch, actually, just seated, bringing that leg out, toes up. Try to bring the chest forward versus slumping forward just to get all of the back of that leg. Nice breath or 2. Let everything relax. And then switch sides. Hamstrings, calves. Getting our hips a little bit too as they attach up there, those hamstrings. And give yourself a pat on the back for today.